This is Alpha Male 2.0, freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. And I am Caleb Jones. And today we're going to talk about a concept that is extremely important that most men don't understand or don't even think about. This is a strong aspect of dating and relationships and women and sex that men don't process and don't think through. And I've been a victim of this myself. I have sometimes, not a victim, I did it to myself, where I forgot about this. I'll give you an example. I'll give you many examples. Here's my favorite example. So about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I don't remember exactly when this was, I scheduled a first date with a woman online dating, my usual thing. And her picture was difficult to see, her face. I could tell, sometimes women do this, I could tell that the pictures on her dating profile were purposely designed to somewhat obscure her face. And usually when I see that, I move on. But for some reason, I went ahead and went for it anyway, because I could tell her body was amazing, and it was. I mean, it looked pretty good to me anyway. So when the pictures looked pretty good, I said, all right, I'll take a leap of faith. Maybe she'll be hot, maybe she won't. If she won't, it'll be good practice. Okay? Usually I don't do that, but I don't know why. For some reason, I decided to go for it. So I met her on the outside corner of a street. We're going to meet at a coffee shop at night. And I walked up and I saw her, and she turned and she smiled, and she was hot. She was not cute. She was hot. Her hair was blonde. It didn't look that blonde in the photos, but she had a big smile, big bright eyes. Damn. She was from various parts of Europe. A lot of people in Europe, and Americans don't understand this, a lot of people in Europe move different countries sometimes as their children. And so she had moved to many different countries, so she had a European accent that you couldn't really place because it was kind of an amalgamation of different accents, but it was hot. Damn. So we walk in the coffee shop, we sit down, we start talking, and she is really smart. She speaks 5 different languages. She had a long career. She was about 26, 27 years old. How could she have a long career? Because she had done so many different things. She was actively interested in things I talked about. They talk about how if you want to impress someone, don't be interesting, focus on being interested. Well, she either was using that as a technique or she was naturally like that. So I would talk about Alpha 2.0 a little bit. She would start asking questions about it, and it was really interesting. At one point, she asked me to run one of the things on her, like the cube, one of these patterns that I used to do a long, long time ago. I didn't do it anymore. I haven't done them in years. And I wasn't doing them back then either, but she wanted me to do one. So I ran the cube on her. You can Google this, the cube. It's a pattern you can run for dating. It's a pickup artist thing. So I ran that on her, and then she's like, okay, I want to run one on you. So she runs one on me I had never heard of before, about you're on an island with a woman, and across the island there's a man, and there's a whole, I forget now, I wish I could, I forget what it was. But it was really interesting and really fun. And we kept talking and talking and talking about different countries, international stuff, business stuff. And she was so attractive, and she was so compelling, and she was so interesting, and she was so charismatic. And I'm sitting there just thinking, oh my God, I can't believe this. Sometimes you have these surprises. Sometimes you have a first date where it blows you away. And I have been on hundreds of first dates. So it doesn't happen very often, but it happened. So I'm like, holy crap, she's amazing. This woman's amazing. Holy shit. Now, I didn't get one-itis. I never do. If I never saw her again after that night, I would have been just fine. But I was legitimately interested, okay? Which doesn't happen very often for me on first dates. So, long story short, for the second date, she comes over to my house, standard Black Dragon dating system, comes over to my house. We talked for a little bit. We sit on the couch and talked for a little bit. Do we drink alcohol? No. She just had some water. I had some water. And within about 45 minutes, we were having sex. And it was terrible. It was awful. It sucked. I could give you detailed specifics. I don't want to go that rated R in this video, okay? It wasn't good. I did not have a good time. I did not enjoy myself. It was really, really bad. Nothing wrong with her, just her style was very different than mine. Her body wasn't bad. She had a great body, but it wasn't my type of body that I like on women. Every man has a particular body type they like, and it was not mine. So that was another aspect. And so at the end, I'm like, oh, that sucked. So long story short, we didn't see each other very much after that. She eventually floated away, and I had to stop and evaluate what had happened. This was a woman who was amazing on every level. She looked great. She was beautiful. She was smart. She was fun. She was low drama as far as I could tell. You can't really tell after just a few dates, but as far as I could tell. She was interesting. She was charismatic. She was highly intelligent. She was extremely enjoyable to talk to. I mean, damn near falling in love with her on the first date. Not literally, you know what I'm saying. I'm being metaphorical. You know what I'm saying? Just a very high quality woman who I was very excited about, and then we had sex and it was awful. Now, let's switch this. I have had an experience, and I'm sure those of you who have been with lots of women have had similar experiences, where you meet a woman and on that first meet, first date, whatever you want to call it, depending on what you're doing, day game, night game, whatever you're doing, you're like, okay, yeah, she's cute. Okay, she'd be fun. You know, just based on how she looks and what she says. And, you know, you're like, okay, she's not a no. She's not a no. She's cute enough, right? And then you have sex and she blows you away. You're like, holy shit, oh my God, this is great. Now you can't wait to see her every week, even though the way she looks is, Now that is not typical. Both of these are exceptions, by the way. These are both extreme exceptions to the rule. Usually when a woman is very impressive on a first date and I end up having sex with her, she's impressive in bed too and I love it. That is normally the case. Usually when a woman is and then you have sex with her, the sex is and maybe you don't even go there. Or maybe you just screen her out and don't even go that way. That is usually the case. So what I'm describing here in both these scenarios are unusual. These are not the norm, but they can happen, and they demonstrate the issue of sexual compatibility. There is an aspect to a woman where she can be amazing to you and even look amazing to you, but be completely sexually incompatible. And the only way you know that is to have sex with her, right? How else are you going to know? That's why in the olden days, it was such insanity to not have sex before you got married. Are you insane? You're going to spend the rest of your life, because divorce rate was very low back then, you're going to spend the rest of your life with this person and you have no idea how they are in bed? You're insane. You're insane. Insane. No, you have to have sex with a woman. I've said this before. Sex first, relationship second. You don't have a relationship, these women over 33 who want you to wine them and dine them and go on 5, 6, 7 dates before they maybe have sex with you. No, that's a relationship. No. You have sex first. You don't have to have sex on the first date. Second date's fine. Third date's fine in some conditions. Fine. Sex first, ideally a few times. Then you have the relationship. That's the model that I teach, right? Because you've got to know if a woman is sexually compatible with you or not. And if you, for some reason, are a woman watching this video, same thing applies to you. You can meet a guy who looks perfect, right? The perfect look. He's confident, he's fun, he's funny, he's all the shit that you want. Then you have sex with him, you're like, ugh. I know women have that experience. As a matter of fact, women have that experience more than we men have that experience, right? Because we men are pigs, right? You can have sex with a woman who is gorgeous to you, and maybe she doesn't have to do anything in bed, but you still have a great time because she's so hot, right? That is not true with women, right? A woman can have sex with Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, whoever, you know, name the famous good-looking actor, and if he's bad in bed, she doesn't want to see him again. Doesn't matter how good he looks, right? So it applies to men and women both. Very important you understand this. Also, you don't want to try to force it. I've seen guys do this. They have sex with a woman who they're not sexually compatible with at all, but because she's really pretty, or because she's really nice, or because she's really fun to go out with, they force it. Okay, I'll just keep having sex with her because, you know, other than that, she's great. Can't do that. Even an FB relationship, I don't care what level of relationship you're talking about. Casual, serious, really serious, you can't have any of those if you're not sexually compatible at all with the woman you're having sex with. One more thing, you don't have to be 100% compatible. She doesn't have to be a 100% match. She could be a 50% match, a 40% match, a 70% match sexually. That's okay. You don't want someone who is a 0% match, which is what I experienced with that one woman. Or a 10% match, or maybe even a 20% match. Well, what's the point? No. There are thousands upon thousands of women in your city who are attractive and intelligent and fun to be with, more than you could ever have sex with within a 5-6 mile drive of your home if you live in a large city. There's plenty of women out there. There's no reason to settle for someone you're not sexually compatible with. Just be aware of that aspect. Very, very important.